80% de mon training, c'est beaucoup de bas de forme.
A lot of us like limit ourselves because we only want to do good form.
Fuck, dude, what did you do to me?
That's volume right there.
I'm gonna start doing that all the time. Thank you, bro.
Usually you're just training, so nobody cares. Just do ugly stuff.
Okay. I guarantee you, if you make this change, your progress is gonna go crazy. What's good, gang? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are gonna be talking about something that I wish I figured out earlier. And what we're talking about today is perfectionism. If there was a list of things that are fucking up your progress, perfectionism would be on top of that list, or right up there. Let me explain myself. You do calisthenics, right? You've been doing it for a while. Obviously, bottom tier, bottom of the barrel, you have people who don't give a fuck about doing things clean, who don't care about form, who just want to do the skills so they could say that they can do the skills and just like act impressive, right? That's like, you look down on that, you know, you're like, fuck that, like I want to do things clean. And that's great. In its essence, well, I mean, if you're hating on other people, it's not great, but I get it. But in its essence, at its core, your intention is good. You want to do things right. You don't just want to go for the fast money, like they say, where you just like have these like flashy skills that aren't really hard. No, you want to do the hard work and you want to get the real skills. That's what you want, right? The problem is the pitfall you are gonna fall into, and you're probably in it. And if you're not, apologies, you know, not trying to judge you. I'm just speaking from experience because I was in it for a long time. You're like, oh, like, I'm gonna do everything perfect. Now, at its essence, like I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with that. But in practice, that's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna actually hold you back so much, and it is gonna be the thing that doesn't let you get to where you're trying to get. So that's what we're gonna spend our day today as I go to the gym and train, trying to break down and trying to break you out of that kind of cycle that you can get stuck in so you can actually become what you are trying to become. I know in your head you're like, no, I have to do it perfect, I have to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. But as we dig deeper into it, you're gonna realize that that's bullshit. And that's actually the biggest excuse that you are giving yourself that is not letting you get to this so-called perfect that you want to achieve. Black hat? Yeah, probably black hat. I'm feeling black hat today. Shout out Tank. You already know, use my code Nikki. Best clothes in the game. So, let me say this. Perfectionism, this need or desire to do everything perfect form, everything clean, is actually an excuse. I know it sounds weird, and I'm gonna explain it to you, but it's actually fear. It all comes from fear. It comes from the fact that you're afraid to look like a dumbass. You're afraid that someone's gonna see you and they're gonna judge you the way you judge those guys that do those shitty skills with shitty form. And if you look really deep into it, actually, you're afraid to fail. And that's totally normal. So here's the hard truth that maybe no one ever told you or you haven't realized yet. Perfect doesn't exist. It's a fictional concept that you chase to become better. So when it comes to pre-workout, I recently got sponsored by this company, Legion. I tried their stuff before, you know. The first time I tried it actually was at my friend Ari's house when we were freestyling. What brand of pre-workout is this?
The Legion, I don't know if you've heard of it.
All right, Legion. Taste test.
It's fire. I know you'll like it, bro. And it's clean as shit. It's really clean. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It's good, right?
Can I see it? Can I see the tub? Legion. Let me see this shit. Oh, I know these guys. Yeah, they make like healthy pre's. Really liked it. But I never looked deep into it. And then coincidentally, they emailed me. and offered me a sponsorship. So I looked deeper into it. They sent me some stuff to try. And their shit's really fucking good. Like, it hits like all other pre-workouts, except it's made out of ingredients you can pronounce. It's not all chemical bullshit, but it still hits. So I was really surprised by that. If you want some really good pre-workout with ingredients you can pronounce, or any other supplement for that matter, go to Legion and use my code Nikki.
One day you're gonna be able to do this.
One day, bro.
Right now you're like this.
That's facts. That's facts. All right, gang, I got an hour and a half to work out and film this vlog because me and Marcus have to go do some shit later. So let's get started. I didn't film the whole warm up because fuck it. Let's just get to training. I think we got a few things to work on today. I'm gonna hit 1 or 2 like active like sets to really get myself active. So maybe a couple full presses, full push-ups, stuff like that. And then I wanna work some creative stuff. So maybe some archers or some of this new stuff I'm learning just to make it a little more creative. I wanna do 1 big volume set. Like really big. You guys will see. I'm going for something really big. I don't know what's gonna happen. I might hit some soupy and then a little bit of front before we leave. Now, before we start, let's go back to the topic, okay? So, the last thing I said to you guys was perfect doesn't exist, okay? But it is something that you chase as part of the process to get to where you're trying to get. Okay, because that is the process. The process goes from bad to better. That's it. It never gets to perfect, but by chasing this idea of perfect, you do get better. And that's how you get ahead of the pack, okay? Now, there is a really important distinction to be made, okay? And that's the difference between attention to detail and perfection, okay? Attention to detail is crucial. Okay, that means working on your form, refining it over time, making it more efficient, cleaner, and safer so you don't get hurt, right? However, perfectionism, like we said, is just an excuse to hide your fears of failure and looking stupid in front of people. But ultimately, this like need to do everything perfect is what's blocking you from doing things good. It's what's blocking you from actually failing. And if you don't actually fail, you're never gonna do things good, you know, which leads me to like the most important point that I'm trying to say right now, which is the key to this clean level you're trying to get to is the ugly level you're not trying to see, the ugly level you're keeping yourself from. Because the key to great form is ugly form and ugly volume especially. Now let me elaborate. To become strong enough to do the clean skills that you want to do, you need to build strength. To build strength, you need volume. And guess what? At the beginning, volume is ugly. That's just what it is. And once you start to understand that ugly is the first step in the process that you're actually trying to achieve, everything is gonna change for you. Let me hit a set.
Who gon' tell your tale if you don't leave no good impression? You ain't mad at me, look, you mad at your reflection. Working on my hoodoo, burning sage for my protection. But if
when it comes to form, right? Like when I say ugly or clean or whatever, you can't think of it as black and white, like ugly and clean. It's a spectrum. It goes from 0, imagine from like 0 to 10. You don't ever want to do, like when I say ugly volume or whatever, you don't ever want to do anything under a 3 out of 10, because that's where you're just gonna risk to injure yourself. Okay, like from 0 to 3 out of 10 is injury territory. We don't go there. The bare minimum has to be like something where you can't get injured, okay? Now that we got that cleared up, if you're always aiming for an 8 out of 10, because that's where you want to be at, that's the territory you want to be at. If you're always trying to do shit 8 out of 10, you're actually blocking yourself from ever getting to 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10 form. You are by trying to do 8 out of 10. And let me explain this to you. It's a fucking trade-off, bro, okay? If you're always trying to do 8 out of 10, imagine your goal is to do 3 push-ups, okay? 8 out of 10. and you can't even do one 8 out of 10, and you just keep trying and you just can't get there and you're stuck. No shit. This is the trade-off, right? Think about it like this. If you want to do 3 8 out of 10, you need to do approximately 10 in a 3 out of 10 form. Once you get to 10 full push-ups, for example, in a 3 out of 10 form, that's when you can start over time working to like clean the form a little bit, maybe like 5 out of 10 form now, and you go for, let's say, 6 push-ups instead of 10 push-ups. Once you learn how to transfer that 3 out of 10 form, 10 push-up strength to a 5 out of 10 form, 6 push-up, then you're gonna work some more to transfer that to like a 7, 8 out of 10, maybe 2, maybe 3 push-ups. That's how the trade-off works. You work the volume at first, try to get the numbers up. As long as you're over a 3 out of 10, you're not gonna get hurt. Who gives a fuck if it's ugly? You just work, so you build the strength. And then with that strength, you learn how to transfer it to a cleaner form over time. Does that make sense? The biggest problem with most of you is you don't wanna see yourself in a 3 out of 10. Because you're afraid, you know, I don't know, we all are, bro. Like, you get a little bit afraid of seeing like how weak you actually are or whatever. But once you start to understand that seeing that is the first step to getting where you want to be and getting stronger, things will start to change for you in your head. And that is the real process. No skipping steps, no waiting till you can do it perfectly. None of that. Here's something I want you to think about. We do calisthenics. Calisthenics, whether you like it or not, even if it's just statics, what you do is a freestyle sport. And that's a beautiful thing, in my opinion, because it's unconventional. We learn things in unconventional ways. Unlike gymnastics or other sports that have entire institutions behind them and ways of doing things, we don't have that. We try things, we have fun, we do things unconventionally, and we figure out the best way to get to the results that we want, right? And here's why this is important. Because sometimes, if you manage to do 3 or 4 push-ups, even if they're not very clean, it's gonna make you feel so good. And that can snowball. And that snowball effect is one of the most amazing things in the sport that we do, because it builds on itself. So if you're always holding yourself back because it's not clean, oh, it's not clean, no, I don't wanna do it, it's not clean, what's gonna happen, bro, is you're gonna get discouraged. You're always gonna be like, oh, I'm stuck at 1, I'm stuck at 1, I'm stuck at 1. If you're able to let that go, not like in an insecure way where it's like, oh, if I don't focus on form, I'm gonna be one of those guys that... No, that's not true. If you're a perfectionist already, you don't have to worry about ending up like one of those people who do everything not clean. It's not gonna happen to you, bro. You already are too much like that. So instead, you need to let it go for a little bit and trust that when the time comes, you will bring your work ethic and your attention to detail to your reps when the time comes, but you have to let it go for a little bit. And here's the cool thing about it. If you're able to do 3, 4, or 5 reps not clean and not be tripping too much on the form because you know that you will clean them up, what's gonna happen, what's up, bro, how are you? I'm good, G. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get excited. You're gonna hit 3, 4, you're gonna be like, holy shit, I used to only be able to do 1, now I can do 3, 4. And it's gonna motivate you. Instead of discouraging you, it's gonna motivate you. You're gonna come into the next session excited. Because here's the thing, you have to make training fun and you have to make training easy. That's the thing that like people always ask me like, bro, how are you so motivated? How are you so disciplined? It's not motivation and discipline, it's fun. I can't wait to fucking wake up and come train. Because I made it fun, I made it simple, I made it easy. I come in, fuck it. If I wanna listen to music, I listen to music. I wanna put chalk, I put chalk. I wanna take my shoes off, I take my shoes off. I wanna take an energy drink, I take an energy drink. Make it easy and it'll snowball and you'll do it more and you'll just get better. That's a big tip that people don't talk about a lot. Look at this guy. How the fuck are you so big and so graceful, brother? King of the castle. I guarantee you, if you make this change, your progress is gonna go crazy. Brother, what is this man doing? What the fuck is that, bro? Walk home vibes. Marcus punch in the air vibes. What? Fentanyl. That's some California for you guys right there. Hey bro, let me see your face. You look like a fucking ward of... Yo. Alright gang, what do you think? That was a quick fucking workout. Only for you, Marcus, would I work out this fast. Marcus. Lord Marquard. With the fucking huge quads. Marquavius. But yeah, all right, let's wrap this up, gang. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing, Helen.
So here's the thing. You have to suck to succeed. It's literally in the word. Pause, brother. This subconscious fear of looking weak is actually what's keeping you weak. You need to be weak to get strong. And everybody that's ahead of you in some way, shape, or form has figured that out. And every time you gotta figure that out again. And the better you get, the harder it is to see yourself suck. But you have to suck to succeed. It's in the word. But on some real shit, it was the same for me when I first started. I remember I used to go to the beach to freestyle and everyone was better than me. And every sesh I would just stand there, I would watch them, and then I would wait till like no one was looking to go on the bar. And I just wasn't progressing fast. And it's not till I got comfortable with everyone there and just started whatever, like making a fool of myself, that I started to progress. And that's kind of when it started to click for me. And over time, it's clicked more and more. And every time I have to like re-understand that is like the faster you can make a fool of yourself, the faster you could look stupid or whatever you want to call it, look weak, fail, really see where the bottom is for you, the faster you're going to get to where you're trying to get. So I need you to ask yourself this, bro. Do you want to just appear strong? Do you want to just appear like you're good and everything you do is clean? Or do you actually want to be that guy? Because if you actually want to be that guy, then you have to do what other people are not doing. You have to push yourself. You have to see every side of yourself. You have to see the worst of yourself, the weakest of yourself, and you have to accept it with the understanding that that's how you get to where you're trying to get. Now, for those of you that have stuck around to the end of the video, you know what we do. We talk about the lesson of the day, everything we did in training, everything we talked about, and how that can apply to your everyday life. And this one, it's pretty simple. It's the same shit with everything else. If you want to get good at, I don't know, your work, at editing, for example. Let me take editing because that's what I do outside of training. It's the same shit. When you start editing, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You watch YouTube videos, you start to figure it out. You're slow, your edits suck, whoop-de-whoop, you know, and so on and so forth. However, no one is born a good editor. Nobody. I went to school, I studied editing, and still nobody popped into that class a good editor. The people who were good editors had been editing for a long time, and the people who became some of the best editors are the people who edited as much as possible. They just did it. They sucked, and then they got better. And then they started trying harder shit, and they sucked at that, but they kept going, and they got better. It's the same shit as we're saying here. If you're trying to make your thing perfect from the beginning, you're not even gonna make it. And if you don't make it, you're not gonna take the first step towards getting where you're actually trying to get. So, once again, I will ask you this before we close out the video. Do you wanna look like you can do it? Do you wanna appear outwardly to the people like, oh, like you're strong enough, like you're good enough, like you're, you know, or do you really wanna be that guy? When the time is, you know, when the light is on you, when the eyes are on you, when it's time to fucking do it, do you wanna be the guy who can do it? Because if you do, you have to start by sucking.
Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck, in Marquavius's words. Anyway, guys, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really enjoying doing these videos like this, just vlogging and spitting and all that shit. So let me know what else you guys want to cover. Let me know if this helped you. Let's talk. Love you. See you next time. Bow.